Hello and welcome along to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. We're back once again at Villa Park with the next 4 games at Villa. And this time it is FA Cup action as Tottenham have a quick turnaround of just 3 days after their hammering at the hands of Liverpool, resulting in their Carabao Cup exit. They have another competition to take aim at now, with Ange saying that his side always wins silverware in their second season. Villa standing firmly in their way though. New signings aplenty and a real buzz around the place to boot. My name is Kate Tracy, and joining me, 3 former Villains pitch side. We have Ahmed El-Mohammadi, Lee Hendry, and making his matchday debut, James Chester.
Hello.
James, great to have you back after your podcast appearance. Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome. It's lovely to be back. It's a special place for me, and it's always nice to come back here and certainly be on the pitch at Villa Park.
And you were just saying then, the 150 game that we had, that was your first time back since you were actually playing here.
Yeah, so it's been a long 5 years, to be fair, when I think back. Yeah, so it was a lovely occasion, I think, for myself and my family to be back here. But I think it was a really good occasion for the club as well, with it being the 150th anniversary. And yeah, it's brought us here tonight to hopefully go to the next level in the FA Cup. Yeah,
we're going to reflect more so on that game in just a few. But Elmo, you were here that night as well. It's a few degrees warmer, but not all that warm.
It's always windy out here, you know, but it's great to see James back with us again. You know, it's been a long time. Played with him for 7 years, 2 different clubs. You know, he was my captain. He always shouted at me because we used to play on the right-hand side together. You know, so but yeah, it's great to see him back here again. Of course, you know, FA Cup, it's a special occasion for any club. And in the previous year we didn't do well, okay, so against West Ham was a tough one, okay, but we won at the end of the game. Today is a different story today, some new faces in the team today, and Spurs is not in the great form, so it's a great time to play them, so hopefully we can get a win today and move to the next round as well.
Hey, we finally got someone who can keep Elmo in check then. I knew we had James along for a reason, Lee. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Good to see you. You look very cold.
Thank you very much for pointing that out. Yeah. Just to break down the 4-4, we only just found out that we are pitch side about a couple of hours ago, but good to see you back though. Yeah. And you're not in the studio this time either.
No, I know, I'm a bit disappointed, but it's nice to be out in the fresh air and soak up the atmosphere.
Fresh air is a big operative word for sure. Now, James, we couldn't have you on here without a little surprise for you. So the lads have made a compilation for you, some of your highlights of your time at Villa. We also have some questions to ask you as well. So we'll play this. Talk us through some of these moments, your memories of these.
You can't remember, can you?
He's looking very confused.
I was trying to remember whether this was my first goal for the club or not.
First goal.
I know it was an important one because we've not won for about 8.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That's a favourite of
mine. Yes, yeah.
I always enjoyed playing against Wolves and beating them. That was a nice day.
The celebration as well then, you always had that sight when you got the goal.
I think this was the start of 3-3 for me, which is unheard of.
Great times.
They're all similar, aren't they?
Well,
they're all quite similar, aren't they?
I was just going to say, they all have a theme, don't they? Good old set piece off the head. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be many of me running through the pitch.
And now this is what I really want to ask you about. Are you the reason Jack Grealish had the gash on his head?
Yeah.
From that?
I blame him. He should have been in the gym and getting a bit stronger with his left arm.
Lifting it a bit faster than him though, but great memories. And of course we spoke to you on the podcast and about your whole time here at Villa. But if I had to say to you, one abiding memory that really stands out, your ultimate highlight of your time at Villa, what would it be?
I think just the day it came and signed. I knew that from the moment I put the shirt on to have the pictures that it was the right place for me to be, and yeah, it's 3.5, 4 years of very special memories, and it started from that day.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk more about those memories in due course, but as the 3 of you have already said, FA Cup action returns then to Villa Park, and the 3 of the 4 of us were here then for the 3rd round against West Ham. Let's have a look back at that night.
it's Onana! Amadou Onana from the closest of ranges. Watkins with a couple of step overs, narrow angle, comes a goal, oh yes! It's Morgan Rogers! Wonderful ball into the feet of Buendia.
Yeah, such a memorable night, fitting of the occasion as well for the 150th celebration game, Elmo. And it really was, wasn't it? The first half maybe not so much, but at least we got the result. We got the second half the occasion deserved.
In the first half, yeah, we didn't start well the game, and then it was a new manager for West Ham.
Yeah.
Graham Potter was the first game, and it was you need some reaction from the players from West Ham, and they did in the first half. But in the second half, we did very well. Onana scored, and then Morgan did his magic again and scored in the second goal. But it was great, because like I said before, we didn't win in the FA Cup for a long time, especially against teams, in the lower division. But that game was important for us to get us to the next round. So today is more important than the last one. So hopefully today, yeah, we can win and can go in the next round as well.
Yeah, it was very much a twofold game, wasn't it? Of course, the actual match itself and the importance of the FA Cup, but the celebration as well. And the pair of you two had family mascots as well. And James, really lovely photo of you and your little lad. But just even that as well just speaks volumes of Villa and the family aspect of the club as well. And it just was lovely to see.
Yeah, it was, like I said before, it was a great occasion for myself and my son and my wife and my dad to be there. It was a lovely moment, but again for the club, to have people here that have represented the club for 150 years, it was I think it was special for myself. I'm sure Lee will say the same. It was wonderful to be asked and be a part of it all.
Yeah, I mean, even the night that we had before, the night obviously before the game, it was great at the Birmingham Arts Museum where lots of players turned up, and they made it very special. And obviously getting the family involved was extra special. My lad, obviously, he's not really into football out of my three boys, but all of a sudden now he is into his football, which is brilliant. It just shows what it does, just sparks into life. And this place is some place when when you've got it packed out to the rafters, which it was that evening, and it was topped off with a brilliant result and got us into the next round.
You said about that the night before the kit launch. That kit was something else, wasn't it?
Oh, it was amazing.
So nice.
Honestly, I mean, we sat up there and watched the game, and it just brought. I mean, if you didn't look around the stadium, obviously you'd think it was an old school sort of game, with the old big numbers on the back. It was really stand out. It was a fabulous kit. And as I said, it was a special evening, all the way around the stadium. It was just, the atmosphere was brilliant. And as Elmo said, the first half didn't match up to what we expected, but the second half certainly did for us.
Yeah, it did, and hence why we're all here again. Now, we do have team news to bring you as well. Pretty breaking news on that front as well. So starting with Aston Villa. Of course, Emi Martinez in goal as ever. John McGinn, our captain, starts. Ezri Konsa in defence. Yuri Tielemans in the heart of midfield. Luca Dean at left back. Andres Garcia comes in again for his start at right back. Donyell Marlin also on the right. Morgan Rogers feeding through. Leon Bailey also then in the starting lineup alongside Jacob Ramsey on the left. Boubacar Kamara also. But look at that bench though. Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio are both on there. So hoping to get to see either one, if not both of those two playing at some point. Right, Tottenham. Now, of course, they've got loads of injury worries at present, but Kinski does start in goal. Son, their captain. Danso, Matthias Tell, their deadline purchase. Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Kulusevski, Porro, Spence, Bentancur and Mikey Moore. So again, they have had their own issues. But Elmo, starting with Aston Villa though, I guess the talking point is going to be the bench more so than anything else. It's great to see that Marlon and Garcia are getting their starts. Yeah,
it was a busy weekend last weekend, try to get a few players in the team, especially, Asensio and Rashford are both big names, coming from big clubs. So everyone is excited to see them, but they're on the bench today. I'm sure, the manager will bring them on, to just, give it to the fans. But it's great to have players like that. You need competition in every position. So it's great to have them both. Garcia made his debut last week against Wolves. To be fair, he was one of our better players in the first half. But I understand the decision that the manager made in the halftime, because we were losing 1-0. So for him, he's making his debut at Villa Park today. He needs some help for the players around him. Leon Bailey needs to help him in the right-hand side. He's a good player. You can see him in the first half against Wolves. You know, he's direct. He can take players on. He's putting some good crosses in the box. So it's good for Malan today. You know, I felt for him, to be honest. You know, the manager left him out of the Champions League, but it's a good game for him today. You know, to play, to start, and score some goals today.
Yeah, because Ollie Watkins, of course, is out injured. It was just a given, wasn't it? That as soon as John Duran goes, Ollie Watkins, who's normally so sound, picks up that injury, but it means that Marlon is getting his opportunity. He seemed, James, like he was going to be the shoo-in to replace Ollie in this game there, with Leon Bailey feeding through from the right. So big opportunity for him.
Yes, certainly. I think that's what the January transfer window's for. Certainly with the clubs still competing in Europe and hopefully going to the next round in this competition. You know, a squad full of quality is vitally important. So it's a good opportunity for him to get his game time today and see what this stadium is all about, and I'm sure the fans will be looking forward to seeing what he's about as well.
And of course, Disasi is cup tied because he played however many minutes against Morecambe for Chelsea, which feels like a very outdated rule. Slightly frustrating for his part then.
Yeah. It's
You're
mad,
not a fan of the rule or a fan of it?
I don't understand, you know, player moving from a club, why should he not play? You know, because he played in the competition early, but he's not with this club again, you know. So it's honestly, it's so frustrating.
If we were in charge, Elmo, if we were in charge, we ran this show, it'd be very, very different. Thank goodness we're not. But yeah, Lee, so it's slightly frustrating that we're not going to get to see Disasi in two of our his first 3 games for Villa. But in terms of the competition Elmo is talking about there, Jacob Ramsey getting his start. We know that Marcus Rashford is on the bench. And Unai Emery, though, he's always said it's all about who earns the shirt. And really, Jacob Ramsey has been finding his form of late.
You know what, I've been so impressed with Jacob, I really have, and it's took some time for him because he's had injuries that he's had to overcome, and that's probably the hardest thing, because when a team's doing so well, you know, you have to come in and perform, and as the manager says, you earn the right to wear the football shirt, and it's true. You know, if you're performing on a week-to-week basis and you're coming on and you're making impacts, which Jacob's done, I'm really impressed with what he's done, because listen, he's a bright talent. He really is. You know, I've touted him for England. I think he will get there eventually. And seeing what he does and what he brings to this side, it's quite phenomenal, because he stretches the play. He takes players on. You know, he breaks lines. And today it'll be interesting to see how we actually set up. Are we going to have like a false 9, you know, with Marlon, because he does like to drift in different areas of the football field. So I'm excited what we've got, but as you touched on, Jacob's been brilliant, and you know, it's good that we've got that competition in all areas, particularly in them forward areas.
Yeah, really excited to see how this is all going to work. It's just exciting times, isn't it? It's such a buzz around the place at present, and understandably so, because it's been such a busy time of things in the January transfer window for Villa. The door slammed firmly shut on Monday night, though, but has been a busy time of things for Aston Villa.
Some big breaking news to bring you on the eve of transfer deadline day for Aston Villa.
Yeah, we may all have our biases, but it certainly seems that Villa have won the January transfer window. They were busy, but how would you rate it?
I didn't hear what you said the last bit. What did you say? How did I rate it?
How would you rate it?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, you know, we needed to bring players in. We've got to the final stages of the Champions League, which is going to be so important for the football club. And obviously we've had injuries that have set us back a little bit, I feel. So I think when you look at what business has been done, particularly from Premier League clubs, I mean, we're up there, particularly when you're shouting out the likes of Marcus Rashford and Senzio, you know, Garcia, you're looking at them sort of players, Disassi, and you're thinking, do you know what, where is the football club going? It's really on the up and on the incline, which is fantastic to see. So I'm so excited about getting all these players involved in the first team and the starting 11, because I do think they're going to have a real big say in the back end of our season, because we know what's up for grabs at the moment. There's still that top 5 finish, Champions League, and obviously we're still in the FA Cup.
Yes, and still in the FA Cup as well. So there's just games aplenty at present. So, James, we need that extra strength and depth as well. And it's not even just extra depth, it's the quality that has been added as well, it looks like. Yeah,
I think that speaks volumes of where the club's at the minute, like Lee said. You know, to be able to attract players of that calibre to come here. I know Marcus and Asensio are probably lacking a bit of game time at the minute, but if you can get them firing, yeah, the club will be looking to push into the top 5 again and progress in the Champions League and tonight.
And Elmo, I guess part of the big talking point was John Duran obviously leaving, but I feel like the whole team, Unai and his team, have managed to sort of rewrite the narrative somewhat with these big loan deals that they've signed with Marcus Rashford, with Asensio, with Disassi then to plug the hole at the back as well.
Yeah, January is always a quiet window, you know, so it wasn't for us 5 players in, 5 players out. You need to replace the players at the left, and then you replace them with the quality. I know Duran was a massive player for us. He started the season fantastic, and he scored a lot of goals for us in the Premier League and the Champions League as well. And he just scored 2 goals in his debut in Saudi Arabia, so he's a goal machine. But you replace them with the 2 quality players in front, Rashford and Asensio as well. Both played in the Champions League before. And like you said, and James said, you need a squad depth. You play for so many competition. You need competition in every position on the pitch. So it was great for us to replace those players who left. And of course, yeah, some loans, but they are quality players. So I think they did very well. Fair play to the owners, you know, Monchi and Damian and the manager. They worked very hard, especially last weekend, you know. They didn't go home at all. You know, the team was off. Everyone was at the training ground. So fair play to them.
Yeah, it's been a real blend, hasn't it? I've almost forgot about Daniel Marlin and Andres Garcia at the start of the window. It feels so long ago because for the last 3 days with those 3 loan signings as well. But for our permanent residents, and we have actually signed, James, with Marlin, Garcia, he can bring anything. We know with Unai Emery, when he sees a talent, we've seen it with Morgan Rogers, even though he's come from the 2nd division in Spain, he could still be anything going forwards.
Yes, certainly. I think it shows the manager's faith that he has in the recruitment that they bring in, that he puts them players straight in the team, and yeah, they flourish very quickly, like we've seen with Morgan. I think what's so impressive is there seems to be a plan with the recruitment. There's no panic. When players leave, there seems to be a replacement in the pipeline straight away.
Yeah, and I'm slightly gutted for Daniel Marlin because, of course, we had the Champions League squad. You can only add 3 new players if your league doesn't start and finish in the same calendar year. So we knew that someone, as well as Andres Garcia, was going to have to miss out then. Unfortunately, it's been Marlin, but Unai would have been a master of man management with that, what he would have said to him, and he's going to get an awful lot of other game time. Yeah,
definitely. And listen, we've got the right man in charge, and you know, he's got experience of being in European competitions and what players are going to suit and what players are going to be needed. So, listen, he's got to buy into what Unai Emery's actually brought to this football club, and I'm sure that he'll have plenty of time. And listen, let's hope we're in the Champions League next season and he is part of that. But I think being a new recruit, you know, there has to be certain decisions that have to be made. Some are tough, and that's the hard point about being a head coach and a manager. You have to make them big calls, and hopefully it's the right call for the football club. Yeah, hopefully so. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about Marcus Rashford in just a moment, who, of course, was the buzz player of the entire transfer window, and he sat down with the Villa TV team earlier on this week.
Marcus, firstly, a very warm welcome to Aston Villa. How excited are you by this new challenge in your career?
Yeah, definitely excited. You know, it's an ambitious time for this club, and a great opportunity for me to join the team and help them keep pushing forward. So I'm excited, can't wait for the first training session and obviously the first game. And from the outside looking in, how impressed have you been with the job that Unai Emery has performed here? Yeah, I think he's a top manager, and what he's done with the club since he's come to Villa is, you know, unbelievable. And it's the constant ambition that's attractive, and you know, it's why you want to join such a club. You want to keep improving year on year, and you know, that's what the team's been doing and are doing this year.
And what do you feel that you can bring to the team?
Just my skill set. You know, I know I can hurt teams. I know when I'm playing at my best, I can decide football games. So that'll be my only ambition, only goal, to help the team win more games, more points, and you know, hopefully create history.
Although you're here on loan, this is the first time you've been somewhere other than Manchester United. Well, knowing the likes of Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa, Ross Barkley, Ollie Watkins from the England squad to help you settle in there, you smiled straight away. Yeah,
definitely. Like you said, it's obviously my first time playing for any other team, so you don't really know what to expect, but it's been excitement more than like a bit. I've not really been scared of, you know, coming into a new environment, so it's all been exciting. But yeah, with them lads being there, it's definitely good.
You touched on it briefly, but more broadly speaking, what do you hope to achieve both personally and for the team between now and the end of May?
I think it's clear, you know, they're obviously still in the Champions League. We want to go as far as we can in that, and if you don't aim to win it, then you're never going to win it. So that'll be my main objective, and keep pushing in the league to get as high as possible.
So let's talk Champions League specifically. You've played in it previously. How exciting is the opportunity to return to that particular competition for you? Yeah,
hugely exciting. Obviously the biggest competition for a club to be involved in, and yeah, it's always great nights, so I'm sure it'll be a new experience for me, playing for Villa in the Champions League. But like I said, it's always going to be a great moment, but the aim remains the same, to try and do our best to win it.
And do you feel your previous experience is going to benefit the team as we gear up towards the knockout stages?
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, I've played a fair amount of games in the Champions League, so yeah, I feel like I'm experienced and know how to handle them type of situations. But you know, like I said, it is a new environment, new team, new teammates. So it's about shared experiences and, you know, using each other's experiences to help you get through the game and hopefully keep winning.
Why Aston Villa?
You know, I think they're a club that's in a good position in the league, and they're pushing to get higher. Still in the Champions League. Good manager, ambitious manager, great talent in the squad. And, you know, I've had to choose somewhere where I feel like my style of football is suited to and can help them and help me rediscover and improve as a player. Obviously, it's only short term that I'm here, so I want to make the most of my time here. And yeah, the only way to do that is by using my attributes and my skill sets to help the team.
Welcome back to Villa TV. I'm the only one here at present because you guys have been fraternising with the enemy, Lee.
Sorry, we're trying.
Teammate, wasn't
it? It wasn't caught on camera, you chatting to your old teammates.
Sorry about that, yeah.
It's probably the only time you get to catch up with anyone.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's amazing when you see like football clubs coming back to your club, and amazing the amount of coaches that are involved in football clubs now. I mean, you only look at the back staff, and there's about 15 or 20 bodies that come out of the tunnel, and half of them are players. So it's great to see that they're seeing a different side from playing football and going into coaching and whatnot. Yeah. So it's really good to see the guys.
All avenues in football, aren't they?
Yeah,
or
course.
the media side.
Exactly.
Of it. Yeah, it suits for three of you two, very much so. Now we've just come back from Rashford's interview there, Elmo, and how exciting he's going to be. We've deliberately kept chat back a little bit about Marcus Rashford, but how integral is he going to be?
Of course, you can see the reaction when he signed, you know, the reaction from the fans and everyone in the social media. Everyone is delighted to have him here. You know, he had some difficult times at Manchester United, but every player, you know, when they move the club, you know, it's a new restart for them. It's a refreshment. It's a great club to be here, you know. So he moved to the right club with the right manager. You know, he's very experienced manager. He knows how to improve players. You can see with the players we have, with Morgan when he came, you know, even Ollie Watkins. and John McGee and all the players, you know. So it's good to have him here. He's going to be massive for us. We play in the Champions League as well, and he got some great experience in the Champions League. So he's a great addition to the team.
Yeah, and I'm just excited for Marcus Rashford, James, more so than anything. We know the amount of media scrutiny he has, and I feel that we've been privy to that only in the last few days. And you think to yourself, goodness, has he actually had to endure this over how long now of his career? We're getting to see it firsthand now.
Yeah, I think he's probably underestimated how long Marcus has been around as well, and he's still only 27, so he's got a lot of football left. And yeah, I think sometimes with a footballer, it's a change of situation and scenario which will help you get out of the dip that you're in. And yeah, I don't think there's a better club in the country to come to and try and get yourself out of that at the moment.
Yeah, and Lee, in terms of Marcus Rashford, what we're going to expect from him, we've talked about him in the competition with Jacob Ramsey. When you picture Marcus Rashford, and especially, you see him bombing down the left, cutting back in onto his right foot, and sending one then into the box. Is that what you're expecting from him, or expecting something different?
No, I'm expecting exactly what you've said. I mean, Marcus is a very special player, and we've seen him time and time again do it for Manchester United and England. I think he's lost his way a little bit, and that's down probably to the decline from Manchester United, that the way where they've gone, the club's fallen from, you know, from grace, really, to be quite honest. And I think, you know, Marcus has been quite integral to their success over past seasons. So I've seen him come here. I think he's going to absolutely relish the fact. I mean, he'll have played at Villa Park many a time, and he'll know what it's like here, the atmosphere. The fans will definitely have him with open arms, and they have done already. So, listen, he's got to get himself fit. He's got a wonderful manager that will certainly guide him, and I don't think he'll take anything that Marcus Rashford apparently has done and you know, will certainly disrupt the change room. And that's why he's brought him in, because he feels that there's a gem there and he can get the best out of him. And I'm pretty sure he will do, because, listen, when he's on that left-hand side, there's no one better running at players, scoring goals, creating goals than Marcus Rashford when he is on his game. Let's get him fit, and I think we'll see an absolute wonderful player here for the rest of the season.
So exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
But the fact that he even did the test when he came to Villa, and he was in earlier on the week, the fact, James, he came in on his 2 days off. He had, I think, the second lowest body fat out of the whole team, which he's obviously not that out of shape. Elmo, behave yourself,
That's
please.
harsh. It's
very harsh,
harsh.
very harsh there on the end. Luckily, he's very good friends with him, so he's allowed to get away with that. But James, it just goes to show he's been keeping himself in good shape.
Yeah, I think you know, it was only a short time ago that he was the best player in the Premier League. And as a professional, you're still going to be training every day and keeping yourself at some sort of level. To play 90 minutes is probably a bit of a stretch at the moment for him, because he's not played for such a while. But yeah, if you keep yourself in that kind of condition, it'll soon come back, you know, fairly quickly.
Looking forward to. I mean, eventually we'll come on this evening, but the atmosphere, I mean, this place will erupt when he comes on. To think that we've got Marcus Rashford gracing Villa Park in a Villa shirt, you just watch this space, because this place will erupt when he comes on.
That's why I'm always happy if he does come off the bench. I was always really happy to see him on the bench, because I want him to get the reception he deserves, and we know that Villa Park are going to bring to him.
Yeah, he will do, won't he? I mean, there's no doubt of that. I mean, everyone's absolutely buzzing that we've got. I mean, Asensio as well. What a player! These players are top players. I mean, you touched on his body fat. They have to look after themselves, whether things aren't going right at their club. They have to be prepared to go to another club to re-establish what they're all about, and that's why they're here, and that's why I feel that this place is, you know, it could be something special for all the players that have been brought in.
And of course, the man and the mind behind the January transfer window, alongside his team, of course, was our gaffer, Unai Emery.
I am very happy. I think the club worked very well in the transfer window. We did more than our wishes to add players for different circumstances. This is the reason as well Andrea Garcia and Malen, they are out of the list in Europe, but because we did more than normal. We had as well in defense position some players injured, and it's as well important how we can as well manage the squad for the rest of the season. Very good work of Monchi or Damian, Nassef, Wes Edens, the scout of the club as well, very good work. Transfer window in January is difficult, but really I think we were competing very well.
Yeah, he would have done some long hours, Unai Emery, of course, alongside his team with Monchi, with Damian Vidagani, and the whole of the team as well. Elmer, you were touching upon that previously. They've worked hard in this January transfer window.
Of course, the manager got experience, and to be fair, he was a big part of the deal of Rashford and Asensio, both of them. He spoke to the players. We talk a lot about Rashford, but don't forget Asensio as well. 3 times Champions League winner.
Yeah.
He's coming from a big club, you know, Real Madrid and PSG as well. He's a very, very important player. He speaks Spanish. He will know the manager and the staff very well. So both of them for us, they are absolutely massive. Like Lee said, you know, both of them will come on today. See the fans, how they're going to react to both of them, you know. So yeah, of course, we are delighted to have them, and fair play to the manager and his staff, you know, Monchi and Damian as well, to get all these deals, you know, before the transfer shot.
And James, you were smiling then as soon as Elmo said 3 times Champions League winner with Marco Asensio.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. From the way that this club has gone in the space of 2 years, really, and now that we're able to lure in Marco Asensio, a 3-time Champions League winner.
Well, it's only 5 years ago. They're having to watch me and him, so...
I didn't want to go back that far, to be fair. I wasn't going to backdate it that much, but but it is mad, though, isn't it? How far this club has come in such a short period of time to attract players here because of Champions League football.
It's amazing to see. I think, you know, whenever we all came here and played here and signed here, you get a feeling of how big the club is, and I think that there's always that potential that it could go to the heights that it's at the moment. And yeah, to see the players that are here at the moment are frightening, really, and it's something that I think every Villa fan will be watching and beholding for a long time.
And Lee, it's kind of a different business model for Villa. Rather than buying these players, they're almost moving the funds into wages for these loan deals. So it's a different business move, but I quite like it. It feels very modern.
Financial fair play now, you know, they have to be very careful what you're doing, and that's where the business side of it comes into it. As you said, you know, you have to look at all aspects. What can they do? What can they get out? What can they bring in? And that's what they've done so brilliantly, and that's why, you know, listening to Elmo say that, it's like, you know, the recruitment, it's not just, oh, we want them 2 players. You know, you have to do some business that's going to enable that to happen, and that's what's happened this January window. That's why it's so brilliant. You know, you touched on this football club. The progression over the last few seasons has been quite remarkable. You know, you only have to look round at this place, and I mean, the atmosphere was always brilliant here, but it's gone up another notch, and you know, it's one of them now where we're in a great position. As I said, Champions League qualified. You know, we've got still potential of finishing in the top 5 again this season come round if we can get a little bit of momentum in this back end of the season. The club's been remarkable, and the fans, I mean, you know, you have to give credit to them that they turn up week in, week out, and they follow us. It's brilliant. So the club's on the up, and it's been on that for quite some time now.
Here, definitely so. And of course, it's not all about the new signings, but about the stalwarts of our team as well, and they don't come more consistent than Luca Dean.
Luca, good to see you. We've had a week without a midweek fixture. How nice has it been to have some time on the training ground?
No, it's nice to have time to work again and to work on the details. We don't have time to work during when we have the midweek game, and now it's good to stay a little bit more at Bodibor.
And 5 new faces came in during the winter transfer window. 3 of them quite late in the window. How nice has it been to, you know, have some new guys around the group?
No, we need new faces, and it's nice to have this type of player. Of course, everybody know them, and they are really good, and they will help us to reach our goal until the end of the season.
And you were a January signing yourself when you came in from Everton. Does that make you want to kind of help them settle in a little bit more when it's midway through the season? Yeah,
of course. No, everybody is helping them to feel comfortable out and on the pitch, because it's really important to feel really well, to perform, and we will help them.
And when you see players coming in that have got that, you know, top level Champions League experience, does that give you a bit of a boost as well? Yeah,
of course. Yeah, no, it gives us competition inside the team, and is what we need to perform and to reach our best from individual performance.
And on a personal note this season, you've had a really strong year. You know, already 30 appearances under your belt in all competitions. How pleased have you been with your form?
No, I'm really happy. I'm doing well. I can do, of course, like the team. Everybody can do better, and we want to do better. Myself too, and we want to improve until the end of the season, and to reach European competition is the main goal, and I'm just focused on that.
And you've been here just over 3 years now. How much desire is there from yourself to want to progress in these cup competitions?
No, it's really important. It's the most historic cup in England, and I want to win that if it's possible, and to go as far as we can, because we have a quality team, and everybody wants the same.
And obviously beat West Ham in round 3, and now an exciting game against Tottenham to look forward to again at home.
Yeah, exactly. And against Tottenham, we didn't win since long time. And every time is a tough game, and we want to do our best in front of Villa Park.
Yeah, the home form's been really strong this season. Do you guys kind of enjoy?
We can do better.
Yeah.
We have some draw. We didn't lose since Arsenal in Premier League and since Palace in Cup, but we can do a little bit better. But we are really strong, and we feel really strong at home, and we have to show that and to correct the small details.
And do you think with the squad we have, you know, we can try to be a contender in this competition?
Yeah, hopefully. Of course, is our goal when you start the competition to reach something, and we will do it.
Yeah, great to hear from Luca Dean there. And as I say, Lee, he has been so consistent this season, almost a bit of an unsung hero in that sense, because he has just been a stalwart.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he plays in that position, and I think, you know, you've got Maatsen that can play obviously on that left-hand side, and I think that's when you have that little bit of competition down there, and he's just stood up and been magnificent. I mean, listen, he's been magnificent. He's been one of our consistent players, which has been brilliant down that left side, and, you know, at times he had to drop into that centre-half role when Tyrone got injured, so, you know, he's a very, very good player, and that's where when you have big players coming up like today, you know, and he'll probably have to look after the likes of Kulusevski, you know he's more than capable of doing so.
Yeah, and as you say, he's got a tough task on his hands in that sense, hasn't he? It's not going to be easy for anyone. But Luca Dean, though, James, he has just risen to every challenge. And as Lee says there, the extra competition, Ian Maatsen, it just goes to show what healthy competition can do.
Yeah, I think it's so important, certainly with the quality of Maatsen, waiting on any mistake. Yeah, we're seeing in Luca's performances the level that's bringing out of him, and certainly at the back with the injury to Tyrone, Ezri playing right back sometimes, to have him so consistent has been really important, I think.
Yeah, and he talks about cup runs and the prestige of this competition as well. Elmo, I know that the FA Cup, it kind of doesn't quite have the allure that it may have had a few years ago, but what would a cup run for Aston Villa mean in the FA Cup?
Of course, you know, after a long time, you know, being knocked out in the first stage, it's great to be here again, you know. FA Cup is traditional in England. Me and James played in the FA Cup final, and we were absolutely, after the game, so, because we lost the game against Arsenal in 2014. We were winning 2-0 after 10 minutes. He scored. He scored as well. But when you lose the game, FA Cup final, you know, you're just so sad. It's a great traditional competition in England, so it's great to be in the competition again. Of course, it's a tough game today. Spurs just went out on another cup on Wednesday night against Liverpool. They're not in a great form. The manager under massive pressure. So we need to take advantage today. We need to start well. We need to make sure this place is absolutely rocking from the minute one.
Yeah, and we know that who else previewed this game was, of course, our gaffer, Unai Emery, who sat down with the media ahead of this night's game.
Difficult, and different moment as well, for them, for us. But the most important for Sunday is how we can enjoy in Villa Park with our supporters one match like that. And in this cup is a very prestigious cup in England. For a lot of supporters, it's really special and very important to try to get through this competition some moment being successful. We can be excited on Sunday again to play in Villa Park with our supporters. The last 16 in in FA Cup. The opponent is Tottenham. There are a lot of things very, very positive and very demanding for us as well, how we can respond.
Elmo's been busy at work. Elmo's robbed one of Spurs' balls. Nicely done, Elmo. I didn't think you were going to come back to us for a second there, but you managed to rob one of the balls.
It's
nice, isn't it?
It's a nice colour, to be honest, but it's flying.
We won't be missing it anyway in the darkness of tonight, will we? We have to give that back to them.
No, just keep it. You don't have to.
As live.
Just keep it. Come on, Lee.
Yeah. Go on then. We've got it on live on Vision.
Yeah, all done.
Oh, you fit me, Lee?
Oh,
you fit me, Lee?
There you go. As live entertainment then for you. But James, great to hear from Unai Emery there, of course, always, with his pre-match presser, saying how much he respects the team, the fact that they've had their injury worries as well, though, but we know that Aston Villa have to respect them. They've pretty much pummeled Villa the last twice that they faced them.
Yeah, they're on a bad run of form at the minute, but you look through the team, it's full of top-class players, so it won't take much for them to go right, but yeah, I think this competition it's a massive opportunity for this football club. I think with the progression that they're on at the moment, it's a real opportunity for us to go and hopefully win some silverware or have a real good go at doing that.
Yeah, and Lee, I said beforehand that Ange, he's kind of put pressure on himself by saying that he always wins silverware in his second season. Well, the Carabao Cup exit happened on Thursday night. He's got a lot of pressure now. Yeah, he has, and you know what?
I really like him, to be quite honest. I like that someone's actually, putting themselves on a pedestal and saying they want to do so and they want to win trophies, and they do so after their second season involved. And listen, they've been really unfortunate with injuries. They're a fantastic squad and it's a fantastic football club, as we've come up against before. But let's not underestimate this side today, because I mean the starting 11 is very, very good. I know their bench looks very light, but they'll want a reaction from midweek against Liverpool. They've got absolutely pummeled, didn't they, in the end? And that was down to lack of players that they have available. So I think there'll be a reaction, and we have to be on our guard. We have to start this game really brightly if we're going to materialise into the next round. Oh, wait, what do you make of Ange's way of playing? And do you respect the fact that he's stuck to his guns in an almost overly offensive style of football, or do you think he should have changed it by now? Yeah, every manager got a style of play, and he's one of them. He likes to stick to his plan, his system. But of course, like Lee said, when you got big injuries, especially at the back, it's a big problem for the team. This is what they're facing now. They've been out of form for a long time. Of course, they faced the best team in the country at the minute, Liverpool, on Wednesday, and they got battered against them. Honestly, Liverpool just so good. Was so good for them. This is what we have to do today. What we have to do is just start well today. We have to start well from the minute one. Of course, that game against Liverpool, they give them more unconfidence. So we have to take this on the first minute today. We have to start the game well. We have to score well. Don't give them the chance to score goals, because, like James said, they got some good players. They can hurt you anytime. Some individuals, they're very good at attacking players, but at the back, they're suffering a lot at the back. So we can take advantage from that. Yeah, hopefully so then. So James, what do you really want to see from Villa tonight, though? We're going to have a mix-up in terms of our lineup, as we've said, but what do you want to see them? Do you want to see them, as Elmo says, come out quickly and really be on the front foot, or what is it? I think that's going to be really important. We spoke about the West Ham game, and the first half passed by a little bit, and there was a reaction second half, and I don't think you can afford to do that against this Tottenham side, even with the run of form that they're on. They're full of quality, and after the result that they've had on Thursday, they'll be coming out quick and expecting a reaction. So I think it's really important that we start the game really quickly. Yeah, hopefully we get to see that, Lee. What do you want to see, though? Again, I want to see us start the game brightly, and I want to see us have a consistent performance throughout the whole 90 minutes plus, because I think that's been our downfall a little bit this season. We've either started games really well, or it's took us till the second half to get a reaction. And I just think if we can get that balance right today, we'll come out on top, because we have got the players and the ability to go and do so. So a good start to the game. I think take advantage of their poor performance, as Elmo said, and obviously their injuries, but let's not underestimate them. This will be a really good game today.
Okay, lads, that is pretty much us done. So all I require from you now, prediction time, Elmo. I'm always looking forward to your predictions, because they're always slightly left field.
I'm going 2-1 today, Villa.
Do you want to name us goal scorers?
Rodgers and Mullen.
Marlon to get his goal after he should have got one against Wolves, but we won't go into that now. James?
3-1. 3-1 Villa. Don't ask me about the scorers, I'm not that prepared, but I'm going 3-1.
He will name 3 defenders, you know.
There you go, exactly typical.
I'm going to go 3-2. I think there's going to be goals in this game today.
Yeah.
And I think Marlon's going to score. I'm going to go John McGinn. And do you know who else I'm going to go for? Marcus Rashford's going to come on and get the winner.
The perfect debut for Villa. Perfect debut.
Anyway.
Yeah, two standing ovations then for Marcus Rashford, we're hopeful, when he comes on off the bench, and also for his goal as well. Well, that's pretty much us done, but we have to remind you, though, that of course the under-19s are in European action again. This is in the UEFA Youth League. Their next game is against Puskas Academia, the round of 32 on the 12th of February at the Pancha Arena. You can watch this match on Villa TV+. But as I say, that is pretty much us done. We're only a few minutes now away from kickoff. So lads, a big thank you so much to all three of you for your time. A big thank you for you for watching. But from us though, it's good night and handing over to Mark Regan alongside Brian Little.